Okay, everyone, let's talk about Britney Spears and what is currently going on. I have asked everyone what their favorite Britney Spears song is. Also, if you're watching on YouTube right now, please just comment what your favorite Britney Spears song is. I'm seeing Piece of Me, Womanizer, Overprotected is a good one. Criminal, that's good. I'm seeing a lot of like her singles. Does anyone know any like Britney deep cuts? Like I'm talking, I am loving right now. Ooh, I'm loving the hookup from In the Zone. I'm loving Get Naked from Blackout. I think it was on Blackout. I love Britney Spears so much. I'm Britney Spears defender done. Email My Heart, Britney Spears, Baby One More Time. Oh my God, Dear Diary, Oops, I Did It Again. The Britney album that's self-titled, that is the fucking blueprint. Blackout, that album is the blueprint of pop music. Kill the Lights. Oh, that's a good one. Anyone know any? Phonography? Oh, we're getting niche. I love it. My Prerogative, such a good cover. Cinderella. Oh my goodness. You guys are getting it. You guys get the Breathe on Me. I fucking love Breathe on Me. I also love, I'm trying to think. The Glory album is phenomenal. Glory album is genuinely one of her best albums ever. Blur is a great one. Girl, I have goosebumps. She's so good. Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know is such a good one. You know, honestly, even though she hates it, I really, really, really love Sometimes. And that is a song that like holds a lot of significance to me because my mom really likes that song as well. And we would like listen to it like all the fucking time. But like the albums of Britney's like just banger after fucking banger. Can't Make You Love Me from Oops, I Did It Again. Cause I can't make you love me. Girl in the Mirror, You Got It All. Oh, for me, Britney Spears, she can do no wrong. In my eyes, Change Your Mind, Better from Glory. It's just, oh my goodness. I love Brave New Girl as well from In the Zone, if I'm being honest. I think, honestly, the Britney album is probably my favorite one. Let me think. Cinderella, Bombastic Love. Oh, that one's so good. That one's so fucking good. I Run Away, Let Me Be. Yeah, you guys get it. You guys fucking get it. Anyways, so what we need to talk about with Britney Spears is that she is now responding to and speaking up against her ex-husband and the father of her kids, Kevin Federline. Boo! Kevin Federline. Boo! So, Kevin Federline has just came out with a book. Boo! The book is called You Thought You Knew, and he looked chop as fuck on the cover. Now, you may be wondering, why has Kevin Federline came out with the book? I'm going to say something to you that's really going to change your opinion of the fact that he's writing a book in which he's really throwing Britney under the bus. Kevin Federline and Britney Spears had an agreement with their children that he would get a lot of money until they were 18 years old. And the kids have now grown up. So Kevin Federline does not get child support anymore. So now he needs to come out with a book exploiting Britney so that he can make money back. So whatever your preconceived notion of Britney Spears is, keep that in mind. First and foremost, when the narrative has been that Britney has been exploited throughout her entire conservatorship, and now she is literally still being exploited by this evil man, Kevin Federline. And if there's one fucking... Don't get me started. Don't get me started on how evil I think Kevin Federline is. I think Kevin... Ugh! How dare you? How dare you? How dare you allow the mother of your children to go through at the hands of what her family were putting her through and take a back seat and also be complicit in it? Fuck you, Kevin Federline. Nasty, nasty man. Yeah, God forbid Kevin Federline would have to fucking work a job or work a fucking day in his life. But no, he has to come out with a book fucking bringing all this Britney shit back up again. So here's the thing with Kevin Federline, right? Kevin Federline and Britney's marriage was obviously messy AF. They met on the Onyx Hotel tour that she did, her greatest tour of all time. It's so good. And he was the backup dancer. Then they started dating. They had a very, very, very public, very, very, very intense relationship. Britney Spears was clearly rebelling when she was with him because he was kind of the bad guy, okay? He was the bad boy. And then ultimately they settled down. They had a messy reality TV show. I'm just going to choose to forget that. And they had kids. And then obviously Britney gets put in a conservatorship, and Kevin Federline and Britney are fighting for custody. But, Britney can't actually fight for custody because she's in a conservatorship. So Kevin Federline, how dare you have such little respect for the mother of your children, and also the woman who you have literally been able to fucking milk fucking dry and not work a day in your goddamn life, motherfucker. How dare you? And how dare you now come out with a book in which the full PR press tour about it is about Britney Spears' parenting skills. How dare you? Britney Spears has barely been allowed access to her children because of people like you. And here's something I want to say before we get, because you know what, we're gonna read Britney's statement first and then get to the articles basically like condensing his book. You know what I'm gonna say? People love to, when it comes to Britney Spears, reference her Instagram and be like, that's a crazy woman. That's a crazy woman. That's the narrative I keep seeing, and people being like, maybe K-Fed's right, or whatever like that. Guys, let's also just take a couple things into consideration. Britney Spears was basically locked down for 13 years in a conservatorship, and don't you dare tell me that you think that Britney was healthier in a conservatorship because she was forced to work during that conservatorship. If they actually cared about her and people are saying that the medication that they gave her was actually good for her, why did she have to work during the duration of that then? Why couldn't they just have medicated her and let her live? So that argument out of the way, okay? Number 2, social media is not real. Britney Spears has already been exposed for not being the one who runs her social media. You know what the fucking craziest thing is? It was actually a manager that I had who was running her social media. We didn't last very long working together, God bless. But anyways, because I have my own stories. But what we will say is that woman, I'm not going to name her, but she was running Britney Spears' social media, and she has been exposed for still running Britney Spears' social media because a couple weeks ago, she posted on Britney Spears' Snapchat story a Lauren Gray Instagram story, who she is also the manager of. So number 2, social media isn't real. How do we know that Britney Spears is the one that's posting any of these videos? How do we know Britney Spears wants any of these videos going up? Number 3, what if Britney Spears is doing whatever the fuck she wants, twirling, fucking, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever the fuck you want, woman. I don't give a fuck. Does Britney Spears twirling in her kitchen affect me in any way? No. Do I give a fuck? No. Do I care to comment on the mental state of her? No. You know why? Because I'm normal. You people aren't normal. The ones who are speculating about this. There's a Britney Spears fucking subreddit, by the way, that literally is dictating every single fucking move she does as to whether or not the conservatorship was better or not for her than what she's in right now. Guys, I'm going to be honest. At a certain stage, we've got to shut the fuck up. This actually sets a beautiful precedent as to what the public actually want from these celebrities. You were rallying to free Britney, but now Britney is freed. But actually what you wanted was for Britney to be free and then go back on to doing music and doing tours. Britney Spears has made it abundantly clear she doesn't want to do any of that. And she actually didn't want to do it when she was being forced to do it. Now people are turning on her and being like, she should be put back in it. You know why? Because you're greedy, you're selfish, and you want her to be working for you, which meant that you never wanted Britney Spears to be free. You wanted Britney on your own terms. This woman doesn't know you, and you don't know that woman. I love the music. I've seen Britney Spears on tour. I'm a Britney Spears defender, but you know what? I'm also not someone who dictates what she should do with her life. I don't care what she does with her life. I don't know that woman. I like the music, but keep in mind, a lot of the music that I like from Britney Spears, she was forced to make. Please. So anyways, fuck you, Kevin Federline. So Britney Spears posted in response to K-Fed's book, and you know when there's no fucking emojis or a spinning video with it, that she means business. I just don't play when it comes to Britney, you know what I mean? The constant gaslighting from ex-husband is extremely hurtful and incredibly exhausting. I have always pleaded and screamed to have both of my boys in my life. Relationships with teenage boys are complex. I have felt demoralized by this situation and have always asked and almost begged for them to be a part of my life. Sadly, they have always witnessed the lack of respect shown by my own father for me. They need to take responsibility for themselves. With one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the last 5 years, and the other with only 4 visits in the past 5 years. And you know what I'm going to say as well? I don't mean to speak on what age are these Britney Spears' sons' age. 20 and 19. Okay, specifically you, the 20-year-old, I'm going to speak to you. Am I really only 2 years older than her kids? Now, why the fuck did I think they were like children? All right. Boys, listen up. These children, and again, I don't mean this in a parasocial way. I mean this from what we know as fact. The fact that Britney Spears is yet again dealing with another attack to her parenting skills is fucking outrageous, because Britney Spears has been denied access to her sons unless she worked like a fucking robot and was drugged up to perform and make money that then funded her children's lives that they weren't being a part of. She didn't get to see them, but she was paying for their entire life. She doesn't see K-Fed paying for his entire life. The money that she was forced like a fucking robot to work for. And you know what? I hope and pray that one day very soon, because these boys are getting grown. You know? These boys are getting grown. That they realize what actually went on, and that their father exploited their mother, continues to exploit their mother, and that they have the life they have because of their mother. She paid for everything. And I feel bad when she says that she just doesn't have access to them anymore. And don't you dare try to weaponize that against her, because it's been the system abusing her. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know when I'm available. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they're going straight to the bank. K-Fed, obviously exploiting this. And I am the only one who genuinely gets hurt here, yet again. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay any attention to the tabloids of my mental health and drinking. I am actually a pretty intelligent woman who's been trying to live a sacred and private life for the last 5 years. I speak on this because I've had enough, and any real woman would do the same. Yet again, she's having to deal with this shit. Now, I saw at the Hollywood Reporter, because obviously I'm not reading this fucking book. I'm not giving Kevin Federline my money. Fuck that. Why the fuck would I give Kevin Federline my... And also people are like, just like pirate the book. I don't even care enough to do that. I literally don't even care to get a... If he fucking hashtag gifted me a copy, I would piss on it. I would genuinely piss and shit on it. Kevin Federline opens up about memoir, Britney Spears' parenting skills. Joan Crawford on crack. My sons are stuck dealing with the situation that no one knows how to navigate. The dancer tells. Not the dancer, the ex-husband. Because that's all he is. Ooh, this is so annoying. The Britney Spears saga is about... Like, we're dealing with, yet again, people being able to just make money off of the Britney Spears crazy narrative. The Britney Spears saga is about to take another hairpin turn with the October 21st release of ex-husband Kevin Federline's shocking tell-all. You thought you knew. And again, he's releasing this book after they're over the age of the 18 and the child support has stopped, that he has literally lived in. Saga. It's literally her life. Yeah. The memoir details Federline's journey from the streets of Fresno to Hollywood, where he once showed enough raw dance talent. We don't care. The bulk of the story... There we go. Belongs to Federline's tumultuous 2-year marriage to and ensuing co-parenting arrangements with Spears. How can you organize co-parenting arrangements with someone who was under a conservatorship and had no access to making any decisions about her day-to-day life? Quick. Quick, Kevin. Unlike the tale of a former child star pushed to her limits in her own autobiography. Oh my God, so we have mainstream media trying to disprove what Britney is saying in her autobiography. Unlike the tale of a former child star pushed to her limits in her own autobiography. How dare these people? The media are doing exactly what they did to her in the past. Because it's profitable. Because it's fucking profitable. Federline's version paints the pop icon as a deeply volatile figure who puts their two sons in precarious situations from even before birth, when he alleges that she was drinking wine during pregnancy. For those seeking tawdry details, they are in heavy supply. Of course they're in heavy supply. Of course they are. As Federline claims that Britney engaged in sexual scenarios with female staffers, casually used cocaine, as well as partied with the likes of Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, as her sons cried in the background and engaged in increasingly erratic and even violent behavior, often at the expense of her children's mental and physical well-being. One sensational anecdote currently making the rounds involves one of her sons waking up to see his mother clutching a knife in the doorway. Spears' camp has issued a statement on the book saying, with news from Kevin's book breaking, once again, he and others are profiting off of her, and sadly, it comes after the child support has ended with Kevin. All she cares about is her kids, Sean and Jaden, and their well-being during the sensationalism. She detailed her journey with her memoir. They also reached out to Spears' team to comment on it, but they hadn't heard back, and obviously Britney did her own one, okay? Now again, I think all we need to know about this book is that this book is being written because Kevin Federline is no longer getting free money from Britney Spears that he has been since he's known her. He no longer gets child support. So of course he's going to write a book with the most outrageous fucking claims in it because look, it gets media attention. More people buy the book and that cheap bastard gets to pay another fucking couple years of his lifestyle. This is so annoying how people aren't literally seeing the repetition of history here. This is literally the repetition of history of being able to sensationalize the woman crazy story. And the public already know the story with Britney, that they're slipping back into it. And I dare all of you try to care about the Free Britney thing. It like pisses me off to no end. No end. And Kevin, what a terrible example you are for your children. Since the Free Britney movement successfully helped free Spears from her conservatorship in 2021, Federline says the situation has only grown worse. Yeah, because you have no fucking control of her or her money anymore, you... Oh. In a wide-ranging interview, he positions the book as a Hail Mary of sorts with regards to Spears' well-being, hoping the harsh light of truth will prevent the worst from unfolding. Oh yeah, I'm sure this is going to help. I'm sure this is going to help, Kevin. I'm sure this is going to help. Your book tells an intense and disturbing story, and it's a lot to take in, but I imagine it was more intense to live through. He says, yes, definitely it was, and reliving it was intense as well. I know that Britney's camp has already responded, and they're saying that you have ulterior motives in writing the book, that it's a money grab. What is your motive? He says, my story's been told by everyone else through a different lens for 20 years. Yeah, the 20 years that you were getting fucking child support from her. And I felt that it was time for me to tell my story. That's what it is, right? I wanted to wait. You wanted to wait until the child support ran out, and you need to find another way to quickly make money off of her. How dare you? How dare you? I waited until my kids were old enough. He's literally just point blank saying it here. This book is for my children's future. How fucking... This man is evil. This is for your children's future. What, further adding to the spiral of harassment that their mother has to deal with that nearly killed her or got her murdered multiple times? How fucking dare you? Do you hear yourself, dipshit? It's a book as much about your kids as it is you and about Britney. The most disturbing sections all involve your children. They're how old now and how do they feel about it? Jaden's 19, Preston's 20. I have two older ones as well, with actress Shar Jackson, Caleb and Corey here, 21, 23. I have 2 with my current that are still under 18. Yeah, and Britney was paying for all of them. Britney was paying for all of them. I'm sure they'll understand, he says. Maybe that's why, because you can't stop fucking popping out kids that you need her to pay for your fucking lifestyle. At certain points in the book, you write that Jaden and Preston severed all communications with her. Is that the case? No, I mean, their situation with their mom is fluid and they do talk. They've even gone and seen her and stuff. Whole bunch of nothing. You detail a honeymoon phase, but pretty early on, red flags begin to appear. You have a record release party, and you talk about her doing cocaine with A-list actress, who goes unnamed. The boys were babies at the time, and you were concerned about breastfeeding. The implications of that really seem to be on the top of your mind. Can you talk about that instance and how that changed your perspective of the marriage? Leading up to that, there were a few concerning things. That's all he says. He's like not even willing to double down on shit. You're telling me that K-Fed wasn't fucking snorting up at these as well, allegedly? He was the bad boy dancer after all. He was the fucking bad influence in her life. Trust. So much so that the fucking View had a celebratory party, the TV show, whenever they broke up. This is lame. Lame. You said she was also drinking. Light drinking, but drinking during the pregnancy. Of course that concerned me. Anything that could possibly harm the child is concerning. So yeah, it was a bit shocking for me through some of those moments. But yes, the night of the record release party was really what set everything off. I realized that I needed to get into protect my children mode is what happened. Yeah, and I'm sure you're still feeling that way, the way you're blowing their private life into public life for sensationalism. Like I said in the book, it's not necessary the extracurricular activities, i.e. drug use. I was concerned for my children, and eventually she filed for divorce. That was the breaking point. Sorry. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? He admits that Britney was the one who filed for divorce from him. Kevin! Your argument is out the window. Britney was getting away from you. You just said that Britney was the one that filed for divorce, but you were so concerned. You were blindsided by the filing. You write about how you found out about it moments before you were going to go live and a producer told you. Were you not thinking about the divorce in that moment? I was taking a stand, but I really didn't think at that moment that it was going to end. So Britney was the one who did it then. There was no phone call or heads up. I found out through the actual media she filed for divorce. I mean, that was a shocker. Good for her getting away from you. You also talk about how you were painted in the media, that you were often the punchline for Jimmy Kimmel and other comedians, and how much that hurt. How did you cope with being dismissed as Britney's husband/backup dancer and never got taken seriously? Oh, Lord, here we go. Here we go. It was tough to navigate those moments. How are you the victim of the media? How are you the victim of the media, not what Britney went through and what you're continuing to add to? Kevin, you would have stayed with her because you cared about that damn fucking money. I was in my mid-20s. What kind of saved me was being able to focus on work and my children. That got me through, especially up until the point where I met my wife, who I'm with now. She's the foundation of everything that came after. And Britney pays for that, probably. I had a lot of help, don't care. You write that Britney fired the entire household staff once after finding you with a bit of weed. And some of them continue to work for you. People that were around us in the beginning were like family to me. That situation you mentioned put me in an awkward situation. Sorry. You write that Britney fired the entire household staff once after finding you with an ounce of weed. Kevin, what is your narrative? Your narrative is that you're saying that Britney fired the entire household staff because she found you with weed, but you're saying that her entire pregnancy she was snorting up cocaine. Kevin, what is it? What is the narrative? It's like saying anything. Right before the infamous hair shaving moment went down with the umbrella, you detailed an emergency intervention held at the Beverly Hills Hotel for Britney. This was organized by her father, mother, Jamie, and Lynn Spears. All right, okay. I think it was clear to everyone at that time that the situation was just wild. Looking back at it now, being a father myself and knowing how I feel about my family, I honestly feel bad for them. Of course, because he was getting money this conservatorship too. How dare you say that you feel bad for Britney's fucking father who was fucking abusing her? They've been so villainized in this. Nobody's perfect. I feel like they were just trying to do right by their daughter. Yeah, by fucking feeding her up in lithium. How dare you? One of the things that her father is accused of is forcing her to perform on stage. I don't know. I didn't dive 100% into that because when the conservatorship happened, I was focused on the kids. Motherfucker, you made money on every show she did, probably. How were you sharing the kids during that time? It was 50-50, especially when she was doing the Vegas shows. There were even times when she had them more than I did on occasion. I always wanted us to keep that open line of communication for the boys. So the handoffs to the kids went smoothly. We had people that would do the back and forth. There were times when we would see each other. There were times when we would show up to soccer games together. There are pictures of us together. It wasn't a horrible situation. There were good times and there were bad times. It was up and downs of the last 20 years. So much so that you have to write a book exposing her, right? In the most disturbing passages, you detail moments that she's with your son as they're getting older. You describe a marked favoritism shown for one son over the other. You describe her behavior around them as Joan Crawford on crack, which is a line that will echo in my brain for the rest of eternity. You allege other scary and erratic behavior towards them. What was going on? Why were things spinning so out of control? All of it was terrifying, and it'd been a lot to handle as a parent. Navigating all those things was very difficult, but honestly, I couldn't tell you because it wasn't happening over at my house. So why the fuck are you writing about it then? Why the fuck are you writing about it? You've known her more intimately and for many years now than anyone else on the planet. I disagree. He knew her for 2 years. I don't think if anyone's paying attention that they see it for what it is. All I want is for her to be happy and healthy, and I want her to be around for the kids. That is just such bullshit. I'm done. So again, Britney said, the constant gaslighting from my ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. I've always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. Literally, Britney said that Britney went on full fucking tours because she was told that she could see her sons in exchange. How dare you say that she's not trying to be around them? Relationships with teenage boys is complex. I have felt demoralized by the situation and have always asked and almost begged for them to be a part of my life. Sadly, they've always witnessed the lack of respect shown by my own father for me. They needed to take responsibility for themselves, with one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the last 5 years and the other with 4 visits in the last 5 years. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know that I'm available. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they're going straight to the bank and I'm the only one that gets hurt here. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay attention to the tabloids of my mental health or drinking. I am actually a pretty intelligent woman who's been trying to live a private life for 5 years. I speak on this because I've had enough and any real woman would do the same. God bless this woman and what she continuously has to go through by literally the money pigs around her. And I hope that her sons grow up and realize what really is going on here and how much she has actually had to finance their entire life. And it's just crazy. It really is crazy. And we'll leave it there. Justice for Britney.